This episode will be of Embrace the Way Strength in Numbers podcast. We'll be talking about World's Strongest Man 2020 and a little bit about Brian's new competition, the Shaw Classic. To go right into it immediately, I noticed our Discord is very split. Normally, the first place person everyone agrees on, but this is the first time I've seen it this split for not just first, but second and third.
I think it's because people are ignoring some obvious things, but that's me.
Maybe.
So with the four of us, so Justin, who do you have taking first?
I have Mateus taking first.
Okay, Marcus, who do you have?
Kiliskovsky first.
Tyler, who do you have?
Brian Shaw.
And I have Brian Shaw, so it's 2 versus 2 here. So, Tyler, you and I have got to tell everyone why Marcus and Justin are wrong.
Exactly.
So, okay, for second, who do we have for second? Justin, second?
Me for second, I have Brian Shaw.
Me too.
Tyler, who do you have for second? You have Kiliskovsky for second?
Yeah.
I have Lisi's for second. So, I have to tell you all why you're wrong. And so you mentioned top 3. So who do you have in third, Justin?
In third, I have Martins.
Marcus?
Same.
Fuck, did you guys just... Who are you voting for in the poll? I'm voting for these guys. Let's just all vote for these guys. Tyler, who did you vote for?
Tom Stoltman.
Oh, so you're a smart guy then. I also voted for Tom Stoltman. So... Right now, our big split is first, second,
and third.
Third,
actually,
but
yeah.
It's not really a big split though, because you, Justin, and Marcus both agree that it's good. You both have the same pick. So,
and then who do you have,
guys? I have Lisi's taking second,
and then he has Stoltman. So we have even more disagreement on third.
Third, no, we don't. Tyler and I agree because we're smart. And you and Marcus agree because you're not as smart as us. so
starting off with
I have the Stoltman brothers in 4th and 5th. So that'll be awesome to see them in that positions together, basically.
So just a repeat of what they did last year.
Basically.
Oh, okay.
That'd be awesome.
So neither one of them is improved.
No, everyone's improved.
Everyone's improved, but still, just to see them basically together in mid-pack. Well, in some way.
I have them not at first because I feel like they're going to absolutely crush the stones in the log, and then nothing else is going to be like
deadlift. Tom Stoltman has an amazing deadlift. Why do you keep ignoring his deadlift?
Look at all the other
amazing deadlifter.
JF Karan, we got so many other people who can pull retarded numbers as well in deadlift.
True.
Yeah, Luke Richardson and all that.
Yeah,
as well.
I think Luke's going to get in, but I think he'll only get 10th because he's so new to strongman and all that. I think he'll do well, but not super
He'll push the deadlift. Luke Richardson's going to push the deadlift.
That'll be his.
Which immediately takes Kiliskovsky from top, takes him from first to, I have him at 4th. Only because I think Tom Stoltman's a more well-rounded and as equally as strong across the board. But more well-rounded, and he can take a top 5 in the deadlift.
I got Martins in 4th, and then Luke in 5th. Luke Stoltman specifically, not Richardson.
I think I have Luke Stoltman in 5th.
I looked at the poll and I realized I accidentally clicked the wrong options in those. I'm like, wait, got to look at the last names.
I think I just don't see Mateus not winning at least 3 of the 5 events in the finals.
Well,
Depends what they are. If they're moving and press events, then definitely.
There's going to be a moving event. There's going to be a pressing event, and there's almost always some sort of medley of some. Or a truck pull. So like if it's a truck pull, if it's a medley, if it's a loading event, if it's a pressing event, if it's like any sort of carry, I don't see him not taking first place, and that's going to be 3 of the 5 events.
See, I think Brian Shaw can push him on truck pull for sure.
Oh, you can get second. Brian Shaw can definitely get second.
Because
on
Terry
the truck
used to be one
pull,
of the best pullers there was.
But Brian Shaw still doesn't show me he's gotten any sort of speed back. So I don't know, like, what's he going to do on the, like, if there's, like, farmers, yoke, any sort, like, sort of medley, any sort of speed. Like he's going to be way more than strong enough, but is he fast enough to? With so Mateus, I feel like it's going to be the fastest. And you have people like Martins and a bunch of other people in there who have a lot of speed on those lighter moving events. And I feel like that's where he's going to hemorrhage one event, and it's going to cost him to second.
But I think we are still looking past the main thing. We don't know who is going to face off in the heats.
Yep,
that's true too.
Well, they sort of balance it though. So we know the top 10 guys or top 5 guys are not going to be against each other.
Oh, we hope not.
But you don't want to see that.
And so you're going to have probably like so I think all the one that we're really talking about, none of them are going to probably be in the same heat. Then Stoltman's, if they don't win their heat, they show that they can get in through third place if they do another stone elimination challenge. Because they both got third last year, and then they won their stones.
It's going to be interesting to see if they are going to actually do the stone for reps again, or if they're going to just do a normal stone run like they usually did.
Well, I think either way, I think the Stallmans have a pretty good chance of making it. If it's Atlas stones, I think they have a pretty good chance of making it.
Do they always do an elimination, or is that something they sort of brought back again last year? Because haven't before you just first and second from the heats have gone through, and there hasn't been like a challenge for second and third?
I think since 2016 they did the stone for reps from 5th to 2nd place. So first place automatically went through, and then second to last place had to do the stone for reps to actually see who's going in second place into the finals.
If there's a if there's a stone thing, if it's a loading or for reps, then there's no way both Stoltmans don't go into the finals. There's because they're not going to get below third. That's just crazy. They're going to get first, second, and if something goes horribly wrong, they're going to get third in their group. But if there isn't, I could see there could be a potential for one of them to drop to a third and not get in if they don't do some sort of stone elimination challenge for the second person from each heat.
But I think, like, if you look at Maxime as well,
Maxime Boudreau is like kind of a huge wild card.
It is,
in my opinion.
If you think about how he did Arnold's beginning of the year, he basically pushed himself over the limit in the first 3 events, and then just bailed on the last 2 events. So if he actually is smart in the heats, then he can make finals. But if he pushes as hard as possible, if he pushes as hard as he did at Arnold's in the heats, then I don't think he's going to be able to go into the finals.
Yeah, he gassed himself out pretty hard during the Arnold's.
He did.
Yeah, I think it was because he went in with being such an underdog there, knowing who he was, and he wanted to prove himself, and I think that hurt.
He's going to be an upset, or there's something that's going to be annoying with him because they always try to balance the heats, right? So they're probably not putting him in the top 10. So you're probably gonna, and I don't think Luke is gonna be in the top 5, like when they're just kind of like balancing the heats. So you're gonna have something like Brian Shaw with like a Luke Stoltman with like a Maxine for potentially a group.
That sucks for Shaw.
Yeah.
So one of the top 5 guys is probably gonna have Luke and potentially like someone like Maxine, which is gonna be like an insane heat. So I see whatever seat he's in. He could definitely take some points off of someone, and potentially like snake someone out who everyone thought was gonna. I feel like if he makes it in, it's gonna be an upset. It's gonna be interesting. His heat's gonna be fun to watch. Same thing with Trey Mitchell. I think Trey Mitchell is going to be put in like a 3rd place in the heat, so he could potentially knock somebody like a big name out as well.
I think something will happen with Luke Richardson as well.
I think Luke Richardson will be in one of the top, or when they're balancing it, I think they're going to put him in like that 6 to 10 range. So you're going to have like like a Martins and then like Richardson in there. I don't see like him being like that 3rd place upset person when they try to balance it, because he's too good.
The other person that we actually don't know what's going to happen with is Evan Singleton as well. He has been actually performing in some of the competitions he competed in, but competing at Worlds, I don't know.
Now, did
And then we have Graham Hicks too, which no one's mentioned yet. Graham Hicks is he's no slouch.
He isn't, no, but
no.
Bishop.
Like,
I think we're all expecting Bishop to go.
Oh, absolutely, it's Adam Bishop.
Yeah, I think we're all expect that from Bishop.
I don't know if Kearney's going to make the top 10.
I don't think he is.
And here's the whole thing. I think he can easily make second place in his heat. But there's a good chance that someone else who's like a second place person, like a Luke Stoltman or Tom Stoltman, he's going to be paired with again in stone over bar. Or like a stone medley. So
he's just not quite well-rounded enough compared to a lot of the people on the field right now.
It's not well-rounded enough. It's just his body size for doing particularly stones is not great. And and you have to go through stones to get to the finals. And if he gets second place, which he can easily do in his heat, he's going to be one of those person who could be easily upset by the third place person. Like what happened last year. Same thing with Trey Mitchell. Trey Mitchell, for everyone doesn't really think about it, but he got second place in his heat, but like by a wide margin. He had a lot of space. I think it was Tom Stoltman. He had like a decent amount of points on top of Tom, and then got crushed in the stones. I think Carney was like 1 point above third, and then got beat by Luke in the stones.
Yep. There's definitely an advantage to being under 6 foot and strong men, or disadvantage. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a huge disadvantage. The other thing as well is shut up.
I'm still Marcus. I'm still like having trouble with knowing your height.
I'm short, okay? Don't judge.
I'm not judging. It's just I really struggle getting past that.
And
I'm facing you for deadlift, and you're like a foot shorter than me.
I might be short, but I'm strong. I'm happy.
That's what I was gonna say. It's demoralizing when I found out your height, and that your lifts were like, and your body weight and your height, and then your lifts were like 3 times mine, and a couple things. I was like,
well, he's a pro for a reason.
Well, I'm a pro because I basically competed alone in my pro competition. So
Don't have to tell him that.
But still, no one showed up, so I take the glory.
So, also
easy win.
To rewind a second, Trey Mitchell he made it to the finals last year.
Did he? I thought he got eliminated in stone over bar.
No, he made it because I thought that I was just checking, but yeah,
who did he eliminate then? Because I know Luke and Tom both eliminated someone in thing over bar, and I thought it was Trey Mitchell.
No, Trey Mitchell didn't have to go up against either of the Stolmans. Because it was Kearney, and then Tom had to go against who was it? Alexei Novikov? No, yeah. Didn't he go up against Alexei Novikov? Which, honestly, Rob Kearney versus Alexei Novikov, if that would happen for stone over bar, that becomes way more competitive.
It does
for those two, because Alexei Novikov is also smaller, shorter. I think he's actually. I know this for reasons. Alexei Novikov is 6'1", 300, and I think he's 310, something like that. I know that because I'm the same size as Alexei Novikov, except I think I have longer arms than him, and he's just stronger than me.
Well, he is actually strong in stones because last year at Arnold, he had to do. I think the weight was a 220 kilogram stone for reps over bar, and he broke the Africa record. So I know he is strong in stones over bar.
Alexei Novikov.
Novikov.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it last year. It was Mitchell versus Novikov. Mitchell got 14 reps and Novikov got 13. So it's both high numbers from both those guys.
But yeah, so it was that too. It was. Who'd Tom go against in stone over bar?
He got third in his heat.
He went against Ivar Smugstellis.
That's okay. Okay.
He went against Ivar. He was third in his heat. They were both third. That's the one thing I remember. Yep. He went against who?
Tom, he went against Ivar Smugstellis.
A big Russian. I think he's a big Russian. He was a big Russian that looked like he would have been able to.
He's a Latvian.
Latvian, okay. But he looked like he was right. He was a big guy too. So stone over bar should have been.
I was gonna go ahead and we'll start going through them in order, and then let's just see what our opinions are on each of them. But we'll go ahead and go over like the main ones that we first talked about. So why do you think Mateus will not get first, and why do you think Mateus will get first? To each of the people.
I don't think Mateus will get first because of his deadlift. I think there's too many good deadlifters, and I think they're going to do a deadlift for like a max for deadlift. But I think what's going to hurt him is not being able to deadlift with the rest of the field. I think he's going to bomb the deadlift because there's a bunch of exceptional deadlifters who are going for that, who want the 501 themselves.
So that I think the same thing, and that's why I think he'll not do as bad as that, because I think there's too many people who are deadlift specialists in it this time who aren't going to place high in the other events. So I think the competitive,
So that's going to be the main focus. But I also think, agree that Liskowski won't place high in the deadlifts. That's obvious. We all know that he's not one of the best deadlifters around. But with the other events that can come, I mean, his speed is amazing in moving events. Truck pull is amazing. He's one of the fastest truck pullers we've ever seen. His presses in press medleys, it's phenomenal. There's so many events that he's actually so good at, and where he can actually get that points back. Whereas his deadlift, he will lose a lot of points on the deadlift. He will also make it up with other events. That's what I think, and I think that's why I will put him in first place.
And the reason I'm saying, I was going to expand on that a little bit. Basically, I think that his biggest competition is Brian Shaw and Martins Leashes, and I don't think they're going to top the deadlift charts because there's so many good deadlift specialists that I think I think the top three is going to maybe not even be in the top three on the deadlift period. So I think all the people who in contention are going to lose points there in a way that it's not going to be like Brian Shaw first, Mateus 6, and then Brian Shaw gets a 5-point gap off that one event. All right, you're
Oh yeah, another thing I was thinking, because not only the deadlift, that's not his only weakness for Kiliskovsky, but there's usually some sort of squat event, and that's also not exactly Kiliskovsky's strength there. So if both of those are in there, you got guys like Brian Martins who are fantastic squatters who could really take some points away from him. That's what I'm thinking. If they have both the deadlift and squat, I don't see him taking first because of that.
I'll say this
last year
is if it's max weight deadlift and a squat event, it doesn't look so good for Mateus first. If there's no squat event and it's a weight for reps, it looks a lot better for Mateus.
If that happens, I will myself change my I will change my vote to Kiliskovsky winning. If they don't have a max deadlift and a squat event, he will win. And I have him to weigh in fourth because I think he'll lose so badly in the deadlift. And I didn't even think of the squat thing. That just really cements my thought process. And I think Brian Shaw will take top 2 in deadlift. I think that he'll show up to again. Shaw the last few years hasn't looked great at comps, but this year
he's looking a lot better.
He's back with his original nutritionist. He's
stronger than ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because like the Brian that the Brian that we saw at Santa Monica, that's nothing what he is now. He's way stronger than just then. So that's why I'm so confident.
So I think with the short classic we will actually see how he then we can actually compare him against some of the best in the world.
I also think we're starting to see a little bit of Thor 2.0, because remember how Thor just basically won or seconded everything for a bit? If we think back, it's been a weird area, but previous big competition, Arnold, he won all but 2 events and got second. Previous competition before that, World's Ultimate Strongman, he won almost every event and took first place. So the next big event, I don't see him not doing what he did in the previous 2, because everyone else, we're assuming they're going to do better or something different than what we've seen in the last 2. Where Mateus, if he just does what he did in the last 2, I think argument for him winning.
And also with Mateus, I think with his determination and him being one of a Polish athlete, they don't feel pain for some reason. I mean, he won World Ultimate Strongman with a torn bicep. We just
that
thought,
was
hey, well, let's continue. I think if a doctor also tells him with an injury on a competition, you can't compete because of this injury, he's just going to rub it off and still compete and see where he ends up.
And now on the flip side of this, why is Brian Shaw going to get first, or why is Brian Shaw not going to get first?
I think Brian Shaw's going to get first because of what I just said. He's going to. I think he is stronger than he's been in a long time. He has not had anything to do for almost a year at this point. You know, he's like 8 months off now, 7 months off. He hasn't done anything.
Yeah, true, because most of the other big guys were at the Arnold Classic, whereas he wasn't, so he just focused specifically on Worlds.
And he played with a bench press thing for a little bit, but I mean, that's what I think. I think Shaw is stronger than he's been in a long time. Back with his original nutritionist, able to focus up on what he wants to do, and I think he's so focused on winning his 5th title that it's going to be hard to beat him.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing, I think. He just looks like he has more drive than he's had in a long time. Like, he is really hungry for this title, so I think that'll really help him.
Yeah.
I think with if you look at Brian Shaw, yes, he's stronger than he's ever been, and we've all seen that. We can all agree on that, actually. I think if it comes to moving events, he's not going to have that speed, and that's where he's going to lose points as well. And that's why that's where I will say that he might be second or third in some of the moving events, where Kieliszkowski might take first place and gain points on him. And yeah, I'll still say that Brian Shaw second place, but it's going to be a close second with Kieliszkowski.
And I'm still saying the reason I have Shaw second is because I think he's going to hemorrhage worse than people think on some of the moving events, because I think it's going to be like Mateus first, Martin second, and some of the young guys like Luke Richardson third, or maybe like a Tom Stoltman third. And also, don't forget how fast where was it? Is he not in this one?
Who?
Oh, I guess not. I don't know. But yeah, I could see Sean some moving events take 4th just because there's some really fast guys. I don't see Jerry Pritchett on the list. Is he not on the list?
He is
on the list.
Just above Konstantin.
Okay, yeah. Well, Jerry Pritchett, he was stupid fast at the Arnold on the frame carry, and everyone forgot about it because Mateus did something inhuman. But before Mateus's run, everyone's like, "Holy crap! How fast was Jerry Pritchett?"
So yeah, that was literally us in voice chat, and then we saw Kieliszkowski, and we're like, "Wait, what did we just witness?"
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah, but even if you think about Konstantin Janasia, he's also quite fast in some of the moving events.
So yeah, I'm not totally confident that Brian Shaw isn't going to hemorrhage in the moving events, which I think there will be more events that Brian Shaw could hemorrhage than events that Mateus would hemorrhage. And I think they're both going to get beat by about the same amount of people on the events that they're not, like Brian's moving versus his like static moving. I feel like there's going to be more of the ones that favor Mateus over Brian. But like so, the event list comes out, it could completely flip that.
Yeah.
If it's a heavier show, if it's a heavier contest, Brian Shaw even easier than I think he's going to win it now. If it's heavy, Brian Shaw, period. If it's light, he hates light events because it requires more moving. But if it's a bit heavier and it's still like a heavy medley, Brian Shaw all day, because it's going to be heavier, and he's just that strong. So
now, I guess if we're going to work our way down, I feel like everyone kind of thinks that the next 3 are going to be a cluster between Martin Zlishi, the Stoltman brothers, and like I feel like there's just going to, I don't know, I feel like next 3 are going to be like Martin and the Stoltmans. Does anyone disagree with that? Or?
I don't agree at all.
I agree.
Yeah. I have Martin.
How it's going to go.
I have Martin second. I have Tom Stoltman third. And I have Kieliszkowski at 4th because I think he's going to lose too much ground.
Tom 3rd, Martins 4th, and Luke Stoltman 5th. So yeah.
So out of the three of those, I feel Martins is still the reigning world's strongest man. I don't think that car accident is going to slow him down too much. I think he's going to place second right under Mateus in a lot of events. I just feel like he's going to get third. He's just going to take enough points, and he's going to be so consistent that I don't see how he doesn't podium.
I haven't taken second.
He runs away with points.
Yeah. Because it doesn't matter what Martins looks like right now. Martins will show up on contest day, and fuck, he might be a repeat. That's the reality. None of us have him there, but the reality is when he shows up for comms, I don't know what he does, what his mindset changes to, but he is tough to beat when it's competition time.
But also he was in a car accident about a month ago, so we don't know how that might affect his training forward. And
he's always got that problem with a nerve in his shoulder too. So if that flares up again, that just ruins the entire contest.
Yeah, if it flares up again, yes. And with his hip joint, that's also sometimes a bit messed up. But I think with this accident, his lower back and his shoulder as well is now a bit injured. So we don't know if that's going to affect him.
I also think Martin's the only one that's kind of honest about injuries. I don't think anyone else. I think all these guys are getting little injuries here and there, but he's the only one that ever actually admits it. Because no one else wants to know that, like, oh, there's an issue with their hamstring.
Mm-hmm.
There's an issue with whatever. Like, who else but Martin's like, yeah, my hip's having issues. I got this issue with the nerve, and then this car accident's messing with that, so I'm doing it. Like, he is so honest about he's the only one who's actually honest about what condition he's in at any given moment, which I think is why he always seems more beat up.
Yeah. And he's also one that shows up at contests seemingly more ready than everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
With injuries.
He's like, surprise, it's me.
Yeah.
he's
the people's strongman, basically.
Really is.
I just don't know who's faster right now, him or Jerry Pritchett. That's my big question with him, because I feel like Mateus is the fastest of everybody, and depending on the event or what it is, it's going to be between Jerry Pritchett and Mateus for second and third. So if Jerry snags like a frame carrier or farmers off of Mateus off of Martins, that drops into a third, which gives Mateus a 2-point lead there. That's why I have him at third, is I just feel like Mateus is faster, and there's some people in some other events that could snag some really important points. And I feel like in the events that Brian Shaw is going to win, Brian Shaw is going to absolutely dominate. So I don't feel like he's going to pick up points on Mateus there very much either. So, and then Luke and Tom, they're going to have, they're going to crush their two events, and then that's going to give them each a 10, and then they're going to 4 or 5 their way through the rest of the competition and get I feel like they're going to get 4th and 5th.
I agree.
I wouldn't be surprised at that. Like, I won't be surprised at all if Martins actually does better than Tom, but I just feel like Tom has a slight edge. It's going to be close though.
Now, if I feel like if Martins or Mateus gets injured, then it's almost a guarantee that the other one almost guarantee wins.
Yeah, true.
I feel like if JF Carone gets injured, it really helps Ryan Shaw.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm the bold guy that doesn't even think JF's going to make it.
That is...
That's a hot take, I know.
I don't even understand that. He is so consistent, it's disgusting. But... I mean, he's consistently, top 5? So I don't have him dropping that low, but I have my top, who do I have at 5th? Luke. I have Luke Stoltman at 5th.
All right, so now let's just make arguments for upsets. All right, Terry Holland.
Chuck Bull is the only thing I think he could upset on, and I'm not too...
If there's a power stairs, Terry Holland. Like, for some reason, on that one event, he is like the freakishly best person on the planet at it.
Yeah, but he has the length for it, so...
Yeah.
So if there's
have Terry coming in 6th. I think he's going to do really well, honestly. He's looking good.
I'd love to see Terry Holland do well.
I honestly don't think he's going to make the finals.
I don't have him in the finals either. I would love to see it, but
do you have an argument that a scenario that he makes it, or do you feel like he's
He magically puts on 60 pounds before the comp. If you want the truth. If you want the truth.
I feel like he's fast enough now, with the stuff I've seen, that he could get third place or second in his heat. And then if he doesn't go against someone like a Luke or a Tom Staltman, and it's stone over bar, and he's going against like plenty of the other competitors, that he could potentially win stone over bar and get into and snag his way into the top 10.
See, the problem with that is I think a lot of the guys are expecting a stone over bar to get into the finals, because they're not as much as every competitor is like, I am great.
Mm-hmm.
They also know like these guys are better.
Yeah.
So whenever that happens, I think a lot of them have been training for that stone over bar or training stones specifically to be better at stones in the event that they have to use them to progress. So I'm thinking that's why he can't do it, because he is good at stones, but I think everyone else is training more specifically for that tiebreaker, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Mark, what weakness do you think he has that's going to keep him out? Because you said you just don't see it at all, right?
Yeah. I think it's his overall his weight. I just don't think he's as strong as he used to be to make the finals now.
That's my excuse. I also just don't think he's strong enough to. Well, I don't think he's as strong as he was when he actually made the finals. And there's so many new faces that you see now, and so many stronger people. And I just don't think he's gonna be able to beat them.
He is the reigning Masters world's strongest man.
Yeah, that's Masters, but
that's Masters with a bunch of older guys.
Yeah, there's like 6 people.
He stopped being a top 10 competitor in the world.
Yeah, there's like 6 or 7 people on here old enough now to be in Masters. Jared Pritchett, Mark Felix.
Mark Felix won't even make it to the finals. He never does.
No, he's fun to watch. What about
it's fun
Eddie
to watch
Williams?
him do Hercules hold. That's it.
So what do you guys feel about Eddie Williams? Does he have a shot at the top?
No, I don't think he does.
No, not a chance.
I like Eddie Williams as a human, but I just don't think he is that caliber of strongman.
There's too many guys that are just that next level above him.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I like Eddie Williams. I just don't think he is. I don't think he's a top 10. I don't
I basically feel the same way about him as I do Rob Kearney. They're both really strong guys. They're just not that quite top 10 guys.
See, Kearney is one that I think Kearney has it to be a top 10 guy.
We can do Kearney right now.
What's that?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do Kearney. It's a good tie-in.
So I think Kearney's strong enough to be a top 10 guy. The problem is some of the events really the tie-breaking event is what fucks him.
Yeah, I think Kearney 100% makes it to the top 10 as long as Luke or Tom Staltman don't get second place in one of the heats and they're in the same heat as him. If he doesn't have to go through Luke or Tom Staltman in a stone thing, then he definitely takes second place in his heat and probably wins stone over bar.
That's what I think. Whereas Eddie Williams, I don't think is even close to that.
So I say there's an 80% chance that he goes to the finals.
I have Rob finishing 10th. I have him taking the 10th place spot in the finals.
Or Marcus, what do you think? I think though on the other side of this.
Eddie Williams, I don't think is going to make the finals. He's not on that level yet, I think. Commenting on Rob Kearney, I don't think he's going to make it into the finals.
What weaknesses specifically do you see that you're just like, hey, that's just not there?
Well, he has proven that his length isn't the only weakness he has. He is a strong presser. His deadlifts are strong, but I think time and time again we have seen him fault in quite a lot of events, and that's going to cost him as well. And yeah, depending on who he is up against in the heats, will basically say if he's going to make it or not. But I think if he's going to be in a strong heat, definitely not. I just think there's quite a lot of athletes that's still above him in most of the events and so on. His body weight is also I would believe a problem if it comes to something like a truck pull or something like that.
Mass moves
pulling
mass
event.
to a certain
Yeah, that
degree.
would-
Yeah, it's
Yeah, he is, and he's super light right now too. Isn't he around 280?
Yep.
To be
I
fair,
think
man,
he's well. He did just eat like 6 gallons of ice cream on YouTube yesterday, so I'd add another pound or two in there.
Well, yeah, but I don't think that's going to be.
yeah, that's ice cream weight, bro.
You don't think that ice cream's gonna get him into the finals?
I
No, I was
how
gonna
it
say, that's
works?
gonna give him indigestion, and he's gonna lose more weight sweating it out on the toilet later on.
it's when he gets out of the toilet that's the
Alright.
problem.
Does Robert Overs make it back to the finals for the first
No.
time in 4 years?
Not a
Nobody
chance.
knows because nobody knows what he's actually doing in training.
I love
you're
Oberst,
right.
but I just don't think he.
I was gonna say that Robert Overs has posted one video of him pressing. What was it? Two plates.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
say.
just showing-
his videos nowadays
it's
are like,
fun
hey,
to-
watch me break this. It's like,
He hasn't posted any other thing besides him repping out 2 plates just to kind of show like a particular style of workout that he was demonstrating and not actually participating in. He's shown
It's actually
0,
secretive in his training.
but he looks different. When you look at his physique and body and just mass compared to like what he looked like when he got hurt, dude, he looks so different now. He looks like I can't wait. He's one of those people. It's like if what his body looks like and the stuff he's said is true, then he makes the finals. If it's not, then he doesn't. But there's just so much speculation because he's given us so little besides saying, yeah, I could crush the world record if I wanted to, or I could crush the American record today if I wanted to.
I want him to. Like, I want to see Oberst do those things.
I kind of think
cool.
I kind of think he's not making it up. I kind of think he can, and I kind of think he's just holding it to Worlds. And I kind of think he's going to make it back to the finals.
I hope so.
I just don't know. And again, there's so many guys that are just at that top level. It's hard to say without knowing where he's at right now. So for now, I've got him out, but I could be wrong.
I've got him out as well, but like I said, he's so unpredictable at the moment because of we don't know what he's actually doing in training. So nobody knows. He's so secretive about his training that he might surprise everyone and actually make it in the finals, or we can all be right and say no, he's not.
And
I believe he's a dark horse.
So here's his history for the last 5 years: qualified, so no finals, 8th place in finals, missed finals, 9th place in finals. So he's made the finals twice at 8th and 9th place. And he said he had a severe back injury or hip injury that he no longer has.
I mean,
I'm gonna give him dark horse. Like, I feel like he'll probably make it, and he's probably gonna knock out somebody that everybody thought was gonna make it.
I can jump on board with that. I won't update the poll yet, but I can jump on board with that.
Graham Hicks.
I think he's one that can go a lot further than even myself am giving him credit for. Graham Hicks is a strong guy.
Sure. Like,
Graham Hicks on his log press at the moment is insanely strong.
Yeah, his pressing is very good.
We also don't know what he's doing other than pressing. We don't know what his training is what his training looks like, and if you have the fitness to actually do some of the moving events, do some of the events back to back, all that. So he's actually in a way like Robert Oberst, only posting one thing but not posting the rest. So let's focus everybody on his log press, and nobody knows what else he's doing. So it's difficult to say, but the chances are that if he actually comes in and just blows everybody's minds, then that's going to be awesome. Because then, again, we have a Brit in the finals.
Oh, I think we will have one, but I don't think it's going to be him.
Adam Bishop.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
think
say
Bishop
it's gonna
is-
be Bish.
Yeah, Bishop will make the finals. I just have no doubt in my mind that Bishop won't make the finals.
Unless he gets some crazy injury, he'll be in the finals for sure.
But they are very close. So you have this year, the reigning current Britain's Strongest Man is Adam Bishop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then last year, Adam Bishop got second, but it was Graham Hicks that had first.
Yep.
That's precisely what I'm saying. That we don't know what Graham Hicks is doing other than his log presses. So he's also, I would say, a dark horse in a way. Also
wait,
depending-
no, he didn't get that. So Adam, he got fourth or fifth because Adam Bishop got first, and then Luke and Tom Stoltman took second. And then 2019, Graham Hicks got first, Adam Bishop got second, Tom got third, and I think Luke got fourth if he competed. And then it's just a wall of Eddie Hall for a while. With Graham Hicks fighting for
second and third place.
Second and third with like Terry Hollins and Big Lutz.
I'm just happy to not see Big Loz in this lineup.
He'll always disappoint in the final. He'll always get hurt. Always hurt.
Yeah. Why? If you get an injury in every freaking finals that you compete in, why do you still compete to go to the finals? Just to get 10th place?
I still want to see video proof of his farmer's walk record because it seems inhuman.
What did he do the other day?
Yeah, because Martins was going to go for the farmer's walk record from Laws. I don't know. Yeah, he basically runs with it, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, so Lawrence just books it. He's like, I'm not holding anything, just run.
I tried
It's
that.
like he's bringing them.
How'd that work, Justin?
Still working on it. All right, so I guess the next one, Luke Richardson. I don't see him making it into the top 10.
Just coming back to Justin's farmer's walk, just run slower.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, and then Charlotte's record for farmer's walk is 150 kilos in each hand, down 20 meters in 6.71 second, which is just like, damn.
That is
Fast with 140 kilos and.
Damn.
So what do you guys think about Luke Richardson? I just don't think he's ready yet. I think like Luke Richardson in about 5 years is going to be potentially a huge name, but right now I don't see him making it into the top 10.
I have a conspiracy about him, but that's me.
I think he'll make it, but he'll come in last.
I don't. I think whatever he's good at is going to be
static events.
Absolutely, yeah. Being a powerlifter.
I think we're gonna see him he'll make the finals this year to make it less obvious, and within like 2-3 years he'll win only because I think we're gonna see something similar to what Giants Live or what has happened in the past, like 2017 ish. The strongest human in the world won in 2017, and I fully agree with that. But I think those events were more or less geared to make sure that he won. I think we're going to see that with Luke Richardson because I've already seen clips of him training with the Giants Live implements in their private warehouse, training with their implements. So that means Connor Bryce is saying, "Here you go."
Luke Richardson came into Strongman and surprised everybody with what he actually can do. So I would say he's the future of Strongman.
Yeah. Yep.
So
how long do you think he makes the finals? I'm gonna say make a final for 2 more years.
He'll make the final this year.
Yeah, I was saying.
You're saying this year?
I think you're the only one that doesn't think this year. Yeah.
So Justin, you're the wrong one.
Yeah, Justin's completely wrong now.
But I'm just
watch
thinking
this.
who
He's
gonna
right,
be
and we're all just sitting here like, huh?
It's saved forever, so we'll know. Maxine.
Maxine is gonna push himself to the limit in the first events in the heats, and then just run out of steam. I don't think he's gonna.
Yeah.
make
Now
the
that I think
finals.
about it, I really shouldn't have him placing the finals.
I think I have him.
I think that dumb decision is why I didn't put Jerry Figueroa placing in the finals. And now that I think about it, I'm just wrong, I guess. Whatever.
I could see him making it. I could see him being one of the best chances for an upset because
Could be, but again, it's just
if he doesn't have to go as hard, like if he wins the first event, in his heat, and then he's going last every time, and he knows what he has to hit, maybe. But like I guess with the Arnold, he was first in the first 3-4 events, so he didn't have to go as hard, but he did anyways. So we'll see if he can pace himself. There's a good chance, but if he's all go, then yeah, he'll fizzle out.
Yeah. Also, deadlift for reps, deadlift max isn't that great.
Is there ever deadlift for max in the heats though?
No,
never.
For finals.
Yeah,
but
so
if he makes the finals and they have a deadlift max, he's gonna.
Oh yeah, if he makes finals, I have him lower into finals.
Hemorrhage on that, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna join Kiliskovsky basically, or just.
I think I have him like 7th in the finals because he can do good in some events, but other ones.
If he makes the finals, but even if they have a deadlift for reps, he's not gonna do well in deadlift. Static events he's not good at.
His Maxime, his log press.
His log press, but
that's a static event.
Yeah, okay, accept that. Other static events is not. Yeah, but like his deadlift, his deadlift is weak, and
so is Kiliskovsky's. And I think he's going to be the reason Kiliskovsky doesn't win. I think if Maxime makes it to the finals, I think that's one of the reasons that's another major reason I have Kiliskovsky not winning because he's fast and explosive too. Great at moving events. Yeah, but he's going to be the one who upsets.
That hurts Brian more than it hurts Mateus if Maxime makes it to the finals.
Yeah,
basically. But I still think that Maxime isn't going to go to the finals because he's going to blow out all his steam in the first few events and completely be pooped by the end of the, let's say, fifth event for the heats.
Because there's 5 events for the heats, 5 events for the finals, right? It's 2 days, 10 events.
Isn't there 6 events for the heats?
Heats? I don't remember if it's 6 or 5. I know there's 5 in the finals. So it's somewhere between. So it's 11 events over 2 days.
Basically.
That's the burnout potential for that's huge. What about next one is Evan Singleton. I know nothing about him. I've heard a little bit from World's Strongest Fan, but I've
seen a couple things from him.
I've seen some great performances from Evan Singleton, but I think it was the North American Open that he competed at, which he won.
It's Evan T.
I think so, yeah.
Yes. I've seen some great stuff from him. His log press is also coming along well. His deadlifts are coming along well. Well, for him, at least. Some of his events are actually quite good, but I think if it comes down to him and the Stones, he's going to lose and not make it to the finals.
Yeah.
His stones are actually quite bad. It's one of his worst events.
And
that's why I don't think he's going to make it.
Back on, so I think a lot more of us do think Alexei Novikov.
No.
I have him in top 10. He's too smart to not be.
I don't
if you look at how he does things, like he figures out
last year.
I think he's gonna make it.
I don't think this year.
No, I mean he lost the stone over bar to Trey Mitchell last year, and there's even more strong guys this year. So I just think he's gonna be close, but he's gonna be like 3rd in his heat and just not make it in.
It's gonna be a close 3rd, maybe.
But I'll give you that. He's someone that I feel like is going to be in that 2nd and 3rd battle, and it could go either way. Jerry Pritchett. I don't think he makes it this year. I think we're starting to see the downfall of Pritchett over the last year. Could be wrong. He could come he was really fast at the Arnold, but it's everything else that he was known for seeming to go down. But
I agree.
I don't have him in the finals.
I think he'll make it, but I at least agree because I don't think he'll make it ever again after this year. This might be his last one, and he's not going to do very well. I think I have him like 9th.
Well, I would like to see him next year in the Arnold's Africa. Because I've seen him twice now, last year and the year before that.
Nice.
He's a nice guy to chat with.
He's someone, he normally makes it to the Arnold on points, right? I don't think he normally wins one of the qualifiers. He's always one of those points guys like Alexei and Belsac.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm expecting to Arnold because
seeing Shiplikov this year, but
Novikov made it to the IO finals. Oh, I know IO Arnold's because he won Arnold's Africa.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason that I think he made it to IO.
Constantine
Genasio, I have him in 8th place. I think he's gonna again surprise everyone. When he made his first appearance at World's Strongest Man, he came I think in most of the events he exploded, and
Yeah.
he was scary. He was scary strong, and
Now he gets
yeah,
injured.
yeah, now he gets injured, but I think still with his 5 traps,
Yep, the fifth trap.
he's gonna. I think he's gonna make the finals.
He probably will. I don't have him in the finals.
He got 4th place in 2016.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't have him in the finals, but I won't necessarily be surprised if he makes it.
Oh yeah,
I don't think so. I don't think he's coming back. I'm totally honest. I think he's going to put up a hell of a fight in his heat, but I don't think he'll be in the finals.
I have him in 9th.
Mark Felix.
He's not gonna make it.
Not gonna
know
make
that.
finals.
He never makes it to the finals.
He's just there because he just doesn't feel like quitting. He's like, I'm gonna keep doing it.
Well, that was the quickest one. Iron Bibby.
No.
I don't think.
Well, isn't he questionable?
He is questionable to be. He's either non-confirmed or he's an alternate on the list right now. So if he does make it into the set 25,
yeah, and even then, it's still no because again, it's that endurance thing.
What
He just gasses out immediately.
But what if the qualifiers are just 5 pressing events, right?
Well, then he'll make it.
Yeah, just pressing medley. It's the strongest Iron BB 2020.
Yeah.
We will start with a dumbbell press, then we will go over to a Viking press, then we will go over to an axle press, and then a log press, and then we'll finish just because we want to with a yoke press. Press.
And if that is what the qualifiers are, Iron Baby will make it.
Otherwise, nah.
So here's just 2 more interesting, one of them more interesting. Mateus Lawless. I honestly think everyone could be really surprised by him.
He's going to make a comeback.
Trained by Big Z. When he did compete, he got podium before, didn't he? Got 3rd.
Yeah, he was
when
great.
He competed, he did really well.
He's insanely strong.
He almost won one year.
He's taken 4 years off of competition, but
in that 4 years, the competitors have changed a lot, so it's quite
no, his competitors always been Big Z since the day he started. His competitors.
Well, no, I'm saying like the people who are like playing in the field right.
His training partner and competitor was always Big Z, but there has been a few stronger people that came in. But I mean, he's still training with Big Z. He's been doing competitions with Big Z, and
he's been Lithuania's 2nd strongest man like 9 times because Big Z. I don't understand why Big Z still was competing at it, but just I guess.
But I think he's gonna come back this year and he's gonna make the finals, and I think he won't place high in the finals, but I think he will still be there.
If there's any remnant of when I saw him in, what was it, 2014, 15? And if there's any remnant of that guy left inside of him, there's no way he doesn't work his way to the finals.
He is a very competitive person.
At least the stunt platforms are now all the same height.
Oh yeah, instead of it's a heavier stone, so lower thing. Yeah, the world's ultimate strongman. We're like, if Rob Curtin is there, he'd bounce on top of us. I'd have to bounce it on top like a ceiling.
Yeah.
Or you could just be Kieloszkowski and have one working bicep.
Yeah, you can do that. But with Lalas, he actually had that problem with the declining platforms because the first platform was a bit too high for him.
So what about Iceland's 2nd strongest man?
Who?
Ingolfsson.
Ithor. Or I don't know how to say it. I'm not sure.
It's Ithor.
Ithor, there it is.
We watched it, and the gap between Thor and every other person on that country was hilarious.
I'm not going to comment on this.
Why?
So Iceland's strongest man apparently is one of the qualifiers for Worlds. Thor won in 2019. Oh, by the way, all of these were competitions in 2019, not 2020. So Thor won, not the most recent one that Thor won, but the one before. Mm-hmm. I think he probably got second. Thor's opting out, so then it goes to the second place person, and he's in. I don't think he's. Honestly, he might be one of the bottom of the 25. I feel like
probably.
He's gonna get shit on.
Yeah,
definitely.
He doesn't belong there.
If you had someone like who was it? Who was that other Iceland strong?
Stefan Solvi Pedersen.
No, the other one.
Oh.
Also competed in 2017, I think. But yeah, if he comes back stronger, actually.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I can't remember who that was either. I know what you're talking about though.
Now to
the weird surname person.
Yep. To finish up Worlds, we get the last two: JF Carone and Trey Mitchell III.
JF Carone, definitely.
He'll make the finals.
He has for how long been
ever
so consistent.
Honestly, with this conversation, I've changed my opinion. I think he'll make it because I should probably not pick Maxime that I thought about because I forgot about his gassing problem. I'm like, wait a second, Marcus is onto something here.
Let's just talk. So interesting you bring him up because JF Carone, they compete a lot, right? In Canada. So let's look at the results for Canada's Strongest Man. 2017, JF Carone. 2016, JF Carone. 2015, JF Carone. 2014, JF Carone. 2013, JF Carone. 2012, JF Carone. 2011, JF Carone. So, like, forever. And then if we look at JF Carone...
He's the Eddie Hall of Canada.
Yes. And we look at the World's Strongest Man, 4th place 2019, 5th place 2018, 5th place 2017, 5th place 2016, 6th place 2015, and 8th place 2012, qualified 2011, and qualified 2008. So technically, he is working his way up in positions, but at the slowest pace I have ever seen. Every year, it's better or the same. He never goes worse.
Smooth as fast.
He's the 6th place tortoise.
Yeah, because I feel like he might. I feel like he could split Luke and Tom.
I don't know.
I feel like it could be like Luke, or I feel like Tom 4th, JF Carone 5th, Luke 6th.
I'll say JF Carone in 6th place.
So now I have switched it around. I have JF in 7th.
I feel like now that I've retracted.
Now that I'm not as stupid as I was before.
I'm 24 hours smarter than I was yesterday.
Yeah.
And then Trey Mitchell, I really think he's going to make it and be like in 9th place, and he's going to bump out somebody that everyone else think was a shoo-in to make it to the finals.
I don't know. I think he's going to just not make it.
Same here. He's going to be another one of those guys in his heat. He's probably going to be a close 3rd, but not make it, I feel like.
I think if he makes it to the Stoneover bar, he will make it into the finals.
Depending who he's going against.
And if there is a Stoneover bar.
Which I hope there is, because I don't like that.
I honestly, look, I used to be kind of against that, but I may have even been Marcus who was talking about it. I don't remember who said it. But I don't know, I think it was Cody. It's like Strongman's like super primal, right? I pick rock up. I pick up log. I throw rock. I move heavy log. I move heavy rock. So, an elimination where you got to go through a rock or a log to get to the finals, I feel like is perfectly fine. There's no more primal strongman than I move heavy tree. I move heavy rock. There's nothing more primal and true strongman than that. So,
I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I just hate how you can have someone who's so far above the 3rd place in 2nd, but the 3rd place just happens to be stronger, specifically Stones. I don't think that's quite fair.
I do though, because Stones is one of the hardest things that you're gonna pick up in any strongman event. Stones are like the hardest thing.
It is, but
not really. It was always my worst event, and
because it's hard.
No, yeah, it was hard, but it's an awkward implement as well. But even
it's picking up a rock.
with my I think it was my second Africa Strongest Man. I went into the final event, which was the stone over bar for reps, and I was so stressed because I know this is my worst event, and I won the event. We had 90 seconds to complete. We had a 120 kilogram stone, and I did 7 reps in 90 seconds, almost 8 reps. Haven't trained stones that hard up until last year, Africa's Strongest Man in November. I think I touched the stone once or twice from the previous Africa's up until that Africa's, and SA Strongest Man as well. And I did 6 reps in 60 seconds at Africa's Strongest Man last year, which I won with 4 reps. So it went from being one of my worst events because it's an awkward, crappy implement to being one of my best events without even training it.
And you won it with 4 reps because it's that hard. That still cements my argument. It's such a hard
thing. You just submitted his argument for everyone but you. Like the reason his event will win on 4 times because no one else could figure it out.
But that's the thing.
No, but I had the proper tacky. I had a tacky for all weather, and the best is it was actually Shevlikov's tacky that I got at Arnold's last year, because he forgot his tacky at Arnold's, and we competed the day afterwards. And when they showed up to come and cheer us on, I actually told him, "Listen, dude, you forgot your tacky last night or yesterday at the competition." He's like, keep it. Like, oh, cool, thanks.
Shevlikov's tacky, that's amazing.
So there's something in the tacky. There you go. There's some Russian magic in that old tacky.
That's vodka.
It probably doesn't help that Shevlikov doesn't really speak any English either.
It's a little bit.
It's getting better.
But he's also just like, no matter what he does, I like how the guy always has a smile on his face and he can make anyone laugh immediately. He's just cool as hell.
Yeah.
It is, unless you ask him for a photo, then he sits like
anger. He takes Russian Spetsnaz pose.
And I think he does that on purpose too.
To look like every villain from the 80s. In pictures, and then yeah.
Last year at Arnold's, he was sitting next to Novikov, and I asked them for a photo and came in between them from behind and just said, "Hey guys, let's take a photo." My girlfriend took the photo, and she just stood there like, "Guys, smile, please."
So it's not gonna happen.
That's funny.
Guys, just smile. It's like, like okay. But yeah, I love those 2 guys. They're awesome people actually. Our MC that we had at Arnold's last year, he was doing a little dance in front of everybody, just dancing to the music, and Shevlikov just completely was mind blowing behind him, doing the same moves precisely as he's going on. When our MC looked around, Shevlikov was just standing there doing nothing.
That's awesome.
We actually got that on video.
That would be awesome.
That's something that has to make it out to Instagram. Did it? Did you post it?
No.
The fuck?
Should have actually.
You got to share that somewhere, sometime.
Yep.
So I guess now the Brian Shaw's classic. I guess it's like, instead of going through every competitor, like who. I have a feeling on this one that I don't think Brian Shaw's going to win because he is going to purposely pick events that he's not great in. I think he's going to stack it against himself to make it look like he didn't just make a competition for him to win. That's just he seems like kind of person to be like, all right, I'm going to choose all the stuff I'm bad at and try to get good at it.
Or you can just take everybody's good events and put it into the competition and.
So give everyone something to shine and then try to balance it that way. It almost seems like with the people coming too, it's not like a super, like I feel like it's not supposed to be a super serious world. Like if you look, it's like his friends. And you have people returning, like Big Z come in. But I feel like when they start doing events, that there's no way they can turn it off. Like after years and years of competing, like I feel like if Brian's like, yeah, I can put this casual strongman competition together. Big Z's coming, yeah, like buddy hurrah. And then as soon as like Big Z lines up to compete with Brian, it's just gonna be like 10 years of like PTSD kicking in, and like they're gonna not be able to help but go 100%.
Well, I don't think they're gonna half-ass it at all.
Brian and Big Z first, second.
That would be cool. That would be cool to see. Big Z take one last. It would be, if this is gonna be Big Z's last thing, it'd be really cool to see Big Z be the, especially after how many Arnolds did he put Brian Shaw in second place?
8.
Like 8 in a row, Brian Shaw got second place in the Arnolds. Like people think Brian Shaw wasn't that great. Nah, he has so many second place wins at World's Strongest Man and the Arnolds. And every time you see a second on Brian's, it's Big Z. And how great would that be for Brian's first strongman thing? And if it becomes one that goes on for like ever, Big Z took first place on Brian as well.
That would be amazing.
His last thing is giving Brian one more second place at his own strongman competition.
At his own gym.
I would love that so much.
I'm sure Brian would hate that, but
I think passively Brian would love it as well. Like there's just some sort of iconicness about it. Years down the road. At the moment, no.
No, he would hate it in the moment. Brian's still going to bitch at his refs.
I know that Brian said that he doesn't mind losing the competition. He doesn't want to let it seem like he made the competition for himself to win and so on. I know he's going to say that. And I know he's also saying that, no, it's for everybody. Whoever wins. If I win, then I'll still split the money with the rest of the guys and so on. But I think it's going to basically be a competition between Brian Shaw, Big Z. That's it. No one else.
Vegas is there.
JF Crone.
I think it'll be. I do agree because
all Big Z and JF Crone.
There's a big line of these are the people here that are actually going to compete for the win, and then these are like friends and people I really like in the strongman world who are going to compete in their own separate competition. The real competition: Brian Shaw, Big Z, Mateus, and JF Crone. Then you have the secondary competition that's like Jerry Pratchett, Rob Carney, Terry Hollins, Robert Obers, I think Adam Bishop and Maxine Boulevard. Like they're sort of in their own
I think
lower level.
I think everybody's going to more focused on Big Z and Brian Shaw's battle. I think
I agree. Yeah, I think everyone who's there. I mean, wouldn't you be? Wouldn't you? I mean, for me personally, I'm going to watch that. Just to watch Big Z and Brian.
This is the last one, probably, right?
Probably.
This is probably gonna be the last serious battle between Brian Shaw and Big Z. It's like, how do you not watch it? Like, I watched Iceland's Strongest Man because how am I gonna not watch Thor's potential last strongman competition? How am I gonna not watch his potential last deadlift in a strongman competition? Like, even though I'm not a fan of Thor, it's just one of those things.
All the jokes that we actually made throughout Iceland's Strongest Man, like, oh, I hope it clears a bicep or something. Loses the title.
Oh yeah, we were really hoping they would lose and get second place.
That 10 in a row and just not happening.
Oh wow! See, I wasn't in the chat for that. I had to watch that. I had to watch it after it was done.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it
was
gonna be insane.
Like Solly Peterson tearing his bicep on the first event. Like, yeah, let's do farmer's carry and what was it? The sandbag carry.
Bicep immediately. He didn't even like pick up the bag. He touched the bag and his bicep fell off.
Oh, what's his name?
Solly Peterson.
Yeah.
It just just thinking about it. Wait, was it a complete sever or was it a partial sever? Did they ever say?
They.
I can't remember.
I know they did say it later, but I think it was a complete tear. Because Runda, however you say his name, Runda? Man.
Also, how great are the videos going to be for the Shaw Classic?
I mean, that dude camera guy.
Oh, it'll be good.
Because, like, you're going to see so much on Overs' channel, Brian's channel, Rob's channel, Terry's channel, Big Z's channel, and it's just going to, how much, like, just shooting the shit and, like, actually having fun with each other do you think is going to happen? Because
a lot.
It's going to be on like an area that's like Brian Shaw's private like mountain getaway, so they have their own space. to do whatever
Most part of it
shenanigans
will
with
be
no
there.
no one else but just them hanging out together because there's no crowds allowed.
I think Robert Oberst is gonna have so much fun on that farm area.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah,
like
he said
there-
some of it's going to be at his main home gym and some of it's going to be at the farm. I bet if there's like a long moving event, it's going to be at the mountain one because notice his house, his driveway just means he goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then how many people do you think Oberst is going to piss off by the end of that?
As many as he
As many as he can.
imagine. Yeah. It's over.
Fish.
If only Martins was going to be there, because then of course there'd be the usual Martins and Kielskowski giving each other shit.
The entire time.
That's the one thing. I wonder if Shaw invited Martins and Martins declined.
You know he
Shaw
did.
said that- we all know that Brian Shaw said that basically these are the guys that accepted the invites.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think.
If you're Martins, why did you accept that invite?
Maybe he just doesn't want to compete that close to each other.
Brian is a friend of Eddie Hall, maybe. I don't know.
Well, but Martins isn't not friends with Eddie, is he?
No.
Yeah. Martins and Eddie get along fine.
Yeah,
Thor and Eddie hate each other, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but Martins is also better friends with Thor.
well, that's a
I don't
stupid
think
reason to
anything
go
that
hang out with
would
Brian
mess
Shaw.
with
Yeah, I was gonna say Eddie's not that type of person that he let that.
Eddie's
go.
not even gonna be there. But
I know.
I think it's a car accident. He got like the shit kicked
I
out of him in
think
the
so.
car accident, and he's like, 2 competitions, 2
In like
weeks
a month
apart.
apart. No thanks.
No, but watch this. Everybody's gonna show up, and then Eddie's just gonna pull up in the driveway.
In his big truck that says the Beast, he's going to go through all the trouble to get that car shipped from Britain to Colorado.
He'll
And just
buy a
pull up
new
like,
one over
"What's going
here.
And I was
Come
gonna
on.
say Eddie just got his boxing money in. He's gonna just buy the exact same vehicle here and
Yep.
just
Leave
leave it in
Brian's
Brian's
house.
driveway whenever he's not in the U.S., which is like most of the times. It's just always gonna be a giant Beast, World's Strongest Man vehicle sitting in Brian's driveway.
Oh. That's something
It's
Eddie
just
would
gonna call
do.
Brian. It's just gonna call Brian like, dude, did you wash my car today?
Oh,
It's just gonna be interesting to see how like certain strongmen handle being alone with Robert Oberst in the middle of nowhere for an extended period of time.
I can't
Like,
wait to see the interactions
Brian
between Kielskowski and Oberst.
that I think will be funny because Kielskowski's a bit serious.
I think Brian is actually used to Robert Oberst, but
Yeah.
everybody else is not.
Yeah. Everyone else is going to be like, what's going on? And Brian's going to be like,
Kearney,
Yeah.
I think Rob Kearney will be fine.
Kearney and
Rob
Oberst, they both been hanging out for a bit.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure, because I remember on that podcast that Oberst did with Joe Rogan and then Kearney did it. And then I'm pretty sure the first thing Robert Oberst ever said to Rob Kearney was, how old were you when you decided you wanted a dick in your mouth? The first thing Oberst ever said to Kearney.
Yep. And then they became immediate friends ever since.
Yep.
And like I remember watching like Other Worlds and stuff. You'll see them hanging out in the background. So I think they're already like good friends
Friends.
behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'd say their rivalry with the log record is just one of those friendly competitive rivalries.
It's like the same with me and the current under 80 and under 90 kilogram Africa log press holder or record holder. I used to see this guy as my nemesis in a log press until I actually beat him in a log press in his own event, basically. But he had an injury, and I still felt great beating him. So yeah, it counted. And
Hey, if it happened, it happened.
it did. That time, I think my log press max was 110 kilograms, which is still 10 kilograms below the under 80 kilogram Africa record. And since then, actually, with the lockdown and everything now, I started just focusing more on log because I didn't have much weights and I have a log at home, so why not? And I think I pressed 130 kilograms twice, which is 5 kgs under the under 90 kilogram Africa log press record.
Nice.
And no, we are actually quite good friends. We're joking about, no, he's going to try and beat my record. And I'm just saying, well, I actually don't care about your record because it's log press. My focus is on deadlift. So
You're like, I just beat your record because I was bored.
I almost did.
Yay.
But yeah, so I think if we actually have to compete against each other in a serious competition like we're doing in November, actually, with the South African Log and Deadlift Championship. I think it's going to be a close call between us because our weights are at the moment basically the same on the log, but I'll definitely beat him on the on the deadlift. That's an obvious. That's for sure. It's just his log press is. I think the time he got the scare was at Africa's last year. I pressed 115 kilograms over my head twice in a max weight event. So the first rep I locked out, but threw down almost directly or immediately. And after the official list, was it the lockout time? He said yes. Take a rest, do it again in a few seconds, and locked out and held it there. Got the rep, walked off, and this guy said, "Yeah, that was actually flippin' scary. The first person that will break his record is me." Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I would tell him I was breaking his record, but that's me.
It was you, Cody. You're almost as competitive as Brian Shaw.
There was actually one of the under 80 kilogram athletes who the first thing when this guy he didn't compete at Africa's, so he just showed up the second day to come and support us. But this under 80 kilogram guy who competed at Africa's walked up to him, not greeting him or anything, just walked up to him like, "How would you like to see me break your Africa record today?" It's like, okay, cool, go for it. And the record for under 80 kilograms is 120 kilograms. And he did 110 kilograms, almost died. And then he said, no, he's going for the record. And then they said, do you even know what the record is? He's like, yeah, it's 115 kilograms. No, it's 120. Like, okay, I'll go for equal record. That's the first thing I thought was, why would you go for equal on a record?
Never. No.
No.
What you didn't do is you take a piece of gum out of your mouth and you put it on the bar, and then you're like, I win.
No, but still, it couldn't even. Well, he tried to call the 120, and he basically just almost died further. He couldn't even press it from his chest. And I just thought, with all of your big smack talk, and you can't even pull it off. So why even go for a record if you know your shit? Why would you go for a record if you do the?
If you can't do it.
No, if you can't even find out what the weight actually is. So he's just assuming, no, the record is so much. And he still can't even do that weight.
Yeah. See, I don't run my mouth until I know I can beat it.
But yeah, it's the same as with my deadlift record. The guy that competed normally with me in under 80 kilogram, he always wanted to either equal or beat my deadlift record. And when we competed against each other in a max deadlift, every time if we compete against each other, we get a max weight of 10 kgs under my Africa record. But if I compete without him, I can easily do my Africa record and equal my weight. And since I just started not focusing on him anymore, I just went up with another 20 kgs. So I'm sitting on 300 kgs deadlift at the moment, and if I can get it more than that, then at the SA Log and Deadlift Championship, I'm hopefully going to break that on the 300 from a 280 to a 300, and then attempt a world record.
Oh yeah, where are you at on that now? Because you were going to try to take back his is 661.
Yes.
And you ripped, what was it, 600 for reps before the quarantine?
Who?
600 once, and it looked stupid easy.
Who?
Yeah. You right before quarantine, didn't you hit your 600-pound deadlift?
Yeah.
And it looked like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his is 661.
I know.
Rarely am I in a call or with someone who can deadlift more than Cody. So.
And for long, it won't be for long.
Yeah. So when do you plan on doing your next big deadlift? Like, when is it in your actual routine to try to go for another max?
Probably 2 weeks away. 3.
Oh, so
I'll
we're
probably wait.
close to
I'll
you
probably
attempting
wait
it.
3 weeks, yeah.
So what are you gonna go for? You gonna knock off
662, 300.5 kilos.
Okay, Thor.
Nah, I'm gonna shoot for probably 665, something like that. So, which isn't much more. It's a little over a kilo more, but I think I'd probably shoot for that just to make the bar math easy. Whatever the easiest bar math is. If it's 670, then it's 670.
I've gone up 5 to 10 pounds so I wouldn't have to grab a bunch of plates. I've done the same thing. Like he'll have it like he'll have like 175 pounds something. Like wait, 180 is like so much easier math. I'll just go up 5 pounds. The plate math is easier.
And I still have to. Well, I haven't actually touched my deadlift suit since the day before. That was about 5 months ago. So since then, I've actually just been training raw deadlift and trying to get it as high as possible. So yesterday, I failed on a 275 kgs.
Raw?
Raw.
See, I don't have a deadlift suit, so.
Oh, he means raws and no straps, right?
No, raw with straps.
Oh, raw with
No
straps. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's the suit.
Yeah, we're talking deadlift suits here.
So that would have been 606 pounds.
Yeah.
Which would have been a PB as well. But yeah. So I still have 8 days left
Yep.
for the pound.
Oh yeah. So the pound world's longest man, or it's what is it called? What's the actual official title of it?
Pound for pound, world's strongest man.
Yep. That competition's going on. It's ending in 1 week from now. Right now, under the official submissions where they actually obeyed the rules, you're probably what?
About
14th or something, 13th.
Between top 10 and top 15.
Somewhere around there. So yeah, you have to do certain things in the video for it to be like to qualify, like how you have to weigh the weights and show the numbers. And so about half of the people in the top 25 just didn't do it.
Yeah, you have to record the actual lift and keep recording while you're weighing yourself and weighing the equipment.
No, so it has to be all one long take.
One long take.
Damn.
So I have a week left to attempt another high deadlift. And yeah, log press. I actually noticed on the point system that the higher your deadlift is, the more points you get. But the higher your overhead press is, you don't get as much points as your deadlift for some reason.
So putting one more putting 1 more kilogram on your press, which is way harder, is worth less than putting 1 kilogram on your deadlift, which is way easier.
It seems like it.
That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't seem fair.
There's guys that I saw which on the point system basically has the same press, but the deadlifts differ, and the points differ insanely. And then they're around the same body weight as well.
And there's some real legit people in here. Second place is someone I know you guys like, Rhino Heimla.
He's entering the pound for pound thing?
Yep.
Yep, but his videos are invalid. He submitted his deadlift video for his max deadlift, and he submitted his deadlift video for his max overhead press.
So he may have either uploaded the wrong video, or he just hasn't filmed himself doing that. He probably just put like his PBs, and now he has to film himself actually doing it, maybe. But yeah, so the reason he's in second place is because he pulled basically a 1,000-pound deadlift.
Yep.
Who won? Who's in first?
John Hack.
It's a
95 kilogram. So he weighs 95 kilograms. Let me.
It's about 209 pounds.
So he weighs 210 pounds, and his so think of this: 210 pound body weight, right? His deadlift.
800 and something pound deadlift.
Yeah, his deadlift is 827 pounds.
Raw, without straps.
So he's a power lifter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually has room to go on his press because he only has 304 pounds on his max clean and press.
Yep.
Well,
And if you look at
powerlifter, not as much overhead pressing, so.
For a powerlifter, it's amazing actually.
That's stupid high for a power lifter for a 300.
Also, the average age for this seems to be around 31, 32.
Hmm.
Damn, I'm too young.
We got.
You're too young.
I'm 29. Just below the average.
What's funny is you are one of the younger people. It really is mostly people like in their 30s. There's 2 people in the top 50 in their 40s.
Well, damn.
No, 3 people in their 40s, and one of them is ranked 29th pound for pound in the world at 44.
Not bad.
I hope they clean the list up so when they close it, they remove all the invalid submissions, but then leave like an official like 1 to like 200 list.
And also, I still believe that there's 2 guys that actually dissipate the rules and use the deadlift suit.
Oh yeah, so you're not allowed to use a suit, right?
You can't use a deadlift suit in the. But I know there's one guy. He did his deadlift, but you can even see him moving a bit awkward when he does his deadlift. He moves out of the camera angle. Takes quite a while to take off his clothes and all that, and then comes into the camera angle with shorts on to go weigh himself. But basically, in that time that he spent outside of the camera and the person taking the video is focusing on the bar, he could have taken off his deadlift suit. And yeah, then they weighed everything and so on.
Well, that's flaw in the system because anyone could do that. I mean,
yeah.
If you're using the honor system, you'd want to make sure, like, hey, I'm not in a deadlift suit.
Well, if you qualify,
is everyone just weighing themselves like in shorts or what?
Well, there's one guy that basically was in his underpants.
That's what I'd be in.
Yeah, I mean, like, but even that's a kilogram or 2. Just do it in post. Just blur it in post. Edit longer, whatever you want to, however you want to treat that.
If you have underwear that weighs a kilogram, you have a problem.
Yeah, you have a big problem. My pants don't even weigh a kilogram.
Oh, that'd be 2.2 pounds, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That's gonna be heavy. Like a
if you fully dressed, though, I mean, you can get that's 2+ kilos.
Well, yeah, fully dressed, like possible, yeah, but just like, your skippies.
When I'm fully dressed,
you weigh as much as my leg, Marcus. I mean, come on now.
Well, with clothes on, I'm a kilogram more.
So that's okay. So now you take that kilogram worth of clothes that are all of your clothes, and that's barely my pants, probably. That's not a stab at you. I'm a large man. I wear a 38 waist and a 2 to 3XL shirt. Come on now. There's a lot of fabric there.
I wear large pants and large shirt.
There's no X's there, though.
0 X's.
I'll say, but at least Marcus can still feel big compared to me.
I just like America's solution, though, to everyone getting fatter was not to make more sizes, but just to start just Xing it off. So there used to be just large, and like, all right, now X large, then X, now 3X, now 4X, now 5X, now 6X. There's like, fuck it, we'll just...
Yep.
Yeah.
What X do you want to be?
2. I was just a solid 2X, and they fit me the way I like them. That's where I'd be happy.
Also, what was the chocolates? The other top Terry Holland. They show everyone else in like competition shirts from previous competitions, and they just show Terry Holland shirtless in jeans.
Yep.
Well, if I was Terry Holland, that's the only picture I would want up.
I was saying, Ferry did have that little bit of a bodybuilding career, so.
I was looking at the man talking to Brian. He's like, yeah, but on the poster, can you put me from like last January at the end of when I had my bodybuilding competition?
Yeah.
Put that picture, and then.
Well, if you look at what's his name? Pujasnovsky. I think if you think about if you just say his name, you actually just think about him on the podium, shirtless and looking like a bodybuilder.
Yep.
Yeah, basically.
And always looking very angry.
Not always.
They don't smile.
Say Polish people very serious.
Yeah, I wonder if there is a picture of him smiling.
Pujanowski?
Matej. Oh no, I did see him smile for like half a second when Romark got him on like a joke, and he laughed, and then he's like, "Oh, back to angry face."
I think when he tore his bicep as well, and someone poked his bicep, he's just like, "Yeah."
Yep. I still remember that one time. I can't remember. I think it was Arnold Barcelona last year. And it was like JF Corona and Romark was just walking up filming JF Corona, and JF Corona did the usual, like, you know nothing about strongman, and then his big eye just open and laugh. It's like, that guy's interesting.
I love JF Corona.
JF's awesome.
He's like one of my favorites. Seriously. I have the clip of him with the abs thing just saved. And every so often I play it. Abs are not a sign of
strong
power.
men have to have abs. Yep.
Abs are not a sign of power.
And then Tom's just like, I've got abs.
I got abs. Yeah.
I actually have the best. It's an old video, but it actually came from an advert. I think for Sinus or something. I can't remember. But it's the best video you will ever see. And I think this was a strongman or something. I don't know.
Are you throwing in the Discord so we can all enjoy this, Marcus?
I'll throw it into the general.
I have to scroll to get to general.
It's your problem.
I don't, because I was on polls.
Abs hurt from yesterday.
Just bending rebar into animals.
A puppy.
Or like the freaking ad that Juji Mufu did for Chimera Coffee with the horse mask on. That was so good.
But I love this one.
Juji's just great. And then I love his videos just walking around, just shoving his smelling salts in people's faces.
He did that to Eddie Hall.
One of my friends, and when he did that to Eddie Hall, he's like, he turned Eddie from a British guy into a Scottish guy. Just voice just dropped.
I'm gonna get smelling salt now in the next 2 weeks. That's basically the same strength as Eddie's second strength.
Oh yeah, because Eddie just came out with his line recently. Yeah.
How come every selling salts are the world's strongest selling salts?
No, this is basically the same as Eddie's second.
Oh yeah, but you know how Eddie has his thing. It says Eddie's is the world's strongest selling salts and his highest one. But then I've seen like 7 or 8 world's strongest selling salts.
Yeah, say Juji says he has the world's strongest smelling salt.
Well, I think his are, because even Tom Stoltman, the one I was watching an old YouTube video with Tom, and he said after the ones, he said none of the other ones even affect him.
Yeah, Thor said he had the world's strongest smelling salts. It's like, no.
Someone needs to do this video. Marcus, there you go.
What?
Don't just get all of them and then do a bit.
No, the one that I'm gonna get isn't Eddie's, but it's Savage.
Yeah.
It's custom made. So he actually said that on Friday asked him if he still has any in stock, and he said, yeah, he has one. Saturday morning, the guy messaged me, very sold out, but it'll make me another one, even better than the rest. Yeah. So when I actually get that, I'll take a video of me smelling it for the fainting or something. I don't know what I'm going
to do. That
I just love the funny thing about the idea of fainting from sniffing smelling salts, because they're made to wake you up from fainting is the funniest part.
Oh yeah, you just have to put it back up again for the reawakening.
Exactly, just stick it right back. I just love the idea of someone testing all 10 of the strongest smelling salts. Yeah. They're like, I haven't slept in a week after this.
Because like, you see all those videos on YouTube where like, I'm gonna test 10 motor oils, I'm gonna test 10 razor blades, or I'm gonna test whichever one of these drugs. You're like, I'm gonna test which one of these 10 are the world's strongest smelling salts. and
the
then
third
just
one,
like
not even smell anymore.
just like we could see your eyes
So
like
you burn
fade
all your
yellow.
nose hairs off. Yep.
We can see like skin just starting to like just like fall off your face.
No, but this one that I'm getting, I don't know if he's going to make it a bit stronger than he actually made it last year, but we were at the WPC Nationals in South, and I was just spectating, and he had his stall up, and I said, "Oh, I see you made new smelling salt." Yeah, I smell this. Okay, opened the bottle, didn't smell. I just did this with holding my breath, just did this, and I thought I was going to die. And the chick there with me, well, I told her, smell this. And she basically almost sat 2 chairs back. It's that stuff is so strong.
I've never used smelling salts. I just
Only ever used it once, and it was a snapping one, and it was so weak that I didn't even get anything. Like, I didn't even really smell it. It just smelled like someone had just recently Windexed the general vicinity.
But
So what's the idea behind smelling salts? Because I never tried it.
It burns the shit out of you, and it kicks your. It's supposed to kick in that fight or flight like burst. So you do it, fight or flight, hit one.
It's basically adrenaline boost, and it also opens veins more, so oxygen can get through your muscles and just by that.
Oh, so it's basically like a vasodilator. Okay.
Yeah.
Basically. So it's basically also. I wonder actually, because it's a fight or flight reaction that you get from it. Imagine you do the fright.
You sniff the smelling salts and you just start booking it away from the stage.
No, watch the videos. Like when people when they give them to like the really heavy ones. Sometimes people hit it and immediately go down there and deadlift, and then see other people just like back up like 6, 7 steps, like turn away and be like, "What the fuck?" and just forget what they were doing. Like you totally can see both reactions triggered in people from being big hit.
Imagine just putting it under someone's nose and the person just starts running. Like flight. That's the flight.
That's what flight looks like. Got it. Oh my! I had to get some smelling salts at some point in my life.
Yep. I think I'm gonna try Gigi's.
I'm terrified of Juji. So
well, he has more than just a super strong one. So.
But I feel like why wouldn't you only get the strongest? Because they're all gonna fade, right? And there's no reason why you couldn't just like pop the lid off like way over there and then sniff that way and then put the lid back on. And then eventually your nose gonna get slowly and closer as it dies instead of having one that's already like half,
But you just be face in jar.
Yeah, no, that's how. If you look, they die like that, and you slowly get more, and then they're just not worth it. And you throw the container away. But yeah,
my favorite one was the Elite FTS fleshlight smelling.
Oh,
I never saw that.
Oh, you got to see that.
So you know what we're talking about?
I do.
At Elite FTS, they take a fleshlight. And they crammed a bunch of the ammonia stuff on it, and it's a fleshlight that you can screw shut. So they took all of the stuff and poured it in there. So what you have to, I think it's a butt, right?
I don't know.
Fleshlight, and so you have to cram your nose and face all down inside of it to take the hit of the ammonia.
Oh, I need to see that. Holy shit. Still, what's as great is like I just love Eddie Hall's like with those Juji salts. He's like, oh yeah, let me try these salts, and sniffs and just what the fuck is that?
I just watched that the other day.
But yeah, I guess it's I think we hit a good place to wrap up.
Yeah, we covered everything.
I guess we'll end this one here and catch everybody next time.
It opens up with it too.